It is 6:01 and the meeting is called to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call to stand.
Mr. Lewis, Mr. Grant,
Here.
Mr. Sandoval,
I'm here.
Mrs. Trujillo,
Here.
and Ms. Stichels.
Here. Item number 4, the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting?
Second.
Discussion? Did you say we had to make an addition?
Yeah, we were just going to add on the FCCLA
Okay.
students.
And
Let's see, Mrs. Jones here. Yeah, we could do it. There she is.
where do you want to take that?
Right now.
First.
So there can be, because there's minutes here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in the 6.1.
Right. Okay. I added it as 6.1 and then everything else fell down. And I'll say all those numbers wrong. So. Okay. Further discussion?
Mr. Venus, Mr. Grant,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
For the minute?
Yes. Oh, no, to approve the agenda.
Okay, I didn't understand what we were at, but okay, I'll do that.
The FCCLA students that were, that presented at the national conference are with us this evening.
Okay, thank you. I'm okay with that, yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Trujillo,
Yes.
and Ms. Stichels.
Yes. Item 5, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of June 24th? Second? Discussion?
They're right with that, with all of the copies that you have.
Yeah, I got the 26th. I got the 26th and I got the 10th. But I don't have the 24th.
What did they put up?
Did you guys see the 24th?
Is it just dated wrong? Should it just say the 24th, Diane?
Oh, but, it has the wrong, it's the wrong thing.
Sorry, there's a typo there.
Oh.
That's what that is, sorry.
Oh, okay,
So, we're gonna have to,
fix that.
yeah, so minutes, to approval with the correction of the date.
Pat, the minutes that we got in our packet have the wrong date on them, 5.1. The meeting was the 24th, but the minutes say the 26th. So we're changing that date.
Gotcha, okay. Agreed.
Okay.
Ms. Dominguez? Mr. Duran?
Yeah.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes,
Mrs. Trivio?
Yes.
And Ms. Whitehorse?
Yes.
It's just wrong here.
Oh,
It's today's.
okay. So Diane,
Yeah.
okay. 5.2, do I have a motion for the approval of the special board meeting of July 10th? Second? Discussion?
Ms. Dominguez? Mr. Duran?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
yes,
Mrs. Trivio?
Yes.
And Ms. Whitehorse?
Okay. Item 6.0, district updates. 6.1, we have with us tonight the students from our FCL high school. And they've just come back from the national conference. I'm sure that Ms. Jones would be much better at explaining this.
You want me to stand somewhere in the middle so we're... So, we took 5 kids to Seattle, Washington, and we just want to say thank you very much for helping to fund that opportunity. We were bugging Kristen all summer long so that we could get there and do what we came for and represent Colorado. I only have 2 here tonight. This is Harlem Kolchik and Jaden Trujillo. And we also had Brianna Sandoval and Serenity Samora and Jasmine Ross, who are here today. But Jasmine is a Colorado State president from FCCLA, as you guys know, and her job while she was there was to carry the state flag with all the other 50 states. Including America Samoa and Puerto Rico, and she did us proud, carried her flag for the opening ceremony. And then she ran several Colorado State meetings, so with the boys, and she's just an amazing young lady, so she represented us very well. And then Harlem, coming up, Harlem competed among the best of the best across the nation in career investigation, and he scored a gold medal to bring home, so that's pretty exciting. And while he didn't make the top 10 in the nation, he still scored a gold medal, which is based on points on a rubric, so he still did a fabulous job. So we're very proud of him, and he's excited to go back again, hopefully next year, and take some more blood. So good job. And this is Jaden, and she competed with Brianna and Serenity in interpersonal communications. And she was up against a lot of tough competition, but they still came home with bronze, so we're very proud of them as well. And all 5 of them want to go back next year, so it will be in Orlando, Florida next year, so we're going to try and start fundraising early on to make sure that they can all go. And they want to bring more people with them this time. So we're going to start early, and now that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit better, hopefully in that FCS leadership class I get to teach this year, I'll have more kids in there and we can focus on those events, and I can help any FBLA kids or other CTSO kids work on their events for their separate things as well. So we're really excited, and we were happy to get Trinidad on the map and represent Colorado. So yeah, oh, and they got to go do some sightseeing while we were there. Part of their registration went towards a ball game, so we got to go see T-Mobile Park and we got to go watch a baseball game with the Seattle Mariners. And then we got to go see the Space Needle, thank you. And some of them did not prefer to be on the outside of the Space Needle because it was really high up, but it was a beautiful view. Some of them, it was their first plane trip. So for half of us, it was the first plane trip. So that was an experience, a lifetime experience for them as well. We ate all kinds of different food, so they tried a lot of different things. What else did we get to do while we were there? We went to see the ocean. We saw the first Starbucks in the Pike Place Market. We got to learn how they toss the fish to each other, and they met a lot of great people from all over the United States. Oh yes, so the business class had a cafe this year, and the proceeds for that, they gave us money for jackets. So come model this jacket really quick. So we got some fancy jackets. We got 5. So when you go to compete at the national level, you have to wear this jacket. So there were literally like 8,000 kids with red jackets. It's kind of like the FFA jackets and the MPLA jackets. So it was really, really nice that we now have 5 that our kids can wear. And it looks really nice when they compete at the state level wearing these jackets as well. So another thing we're going to try to fundraise for is more jackets so that they can, so we'll have a whole closet of different sizes, because when we got ours this time, they only had talls left, so they're a little bit long, but we're going to work on getting all kinds of sizes so everybody can compete and look really good representing us. So yeah, do you guys have anything else to share?
No.
Did you have fun? Yeah, they had a good time. They were tired when we were done for sure, but it was well worth it and we hope to do it again. So, thank you.
Item 6.2 is an update from Morgan on Fisher Peak Energy.
Congratulations, FCHC-LA team. That was just awesome. Congratulations, team. Welcome, Superintendent Dr. Aaron, Chairperson Theo, and trustees. Thank you so much. As you remember, last month we were here and we were talking about Fisher's Peak, and now we know that Mr. Sandoval, so it is good. And we started our preliminary assessment to take a look at Fisher's Peak. As I described it last time, it's like we're taking Fisher's Peak to the doctor's office, and before any type of surgery can be done, because you know there are items that need to be fixed there, let's first diagnose the patient. And so that's what we've begun doing these last 30 days, is doing a diagnosis to see what kind of energy use we have out there, what are some possible solutions. And as we're digging farther into that, I just wanted to make sure that we continued our FaceTime with you, with the board. It's important to me that the communication stays open, that you know what's going on. Worst case scenario is all of a sudden things are done in a vacuum, and say 6 months ago, you go, hey, whatever happened to that Mike guy? You know, what are they doing out there? So that's what these little updates are for. They're about 5 minutes, and we happen to be here today anyways, videotaping for the best grants. Jeff's going to give an update on that, but we had a videographer here showing the new construction. We are so proud of what's going on out there, and it's really a jewel in the state of Colorado. So, in regards to Fisher's Peak, we know that we came here because we went for the best grant, and the best grant wasn't selected. So what can we do now to take a look at the usage and possible improvements at Fisher's Peak? The first thing that we took a look at, you said if I touch it, it works, right? Swiping? Swipey? Other way. There we go. Utility, assessment. Where's the energy being spent at? So what's happening up at Fisher's Peak? You can see about 75% of the usage over at Fisher's Peak is at the electricity. We have water and gas. Gas is at 14% and water's at 10%. So now we broke it down as far as what the spend is for the utilities at Fisher's Peak. And now what's happening within that? How does that stack up? and we can take a look at in a very easy way. We can really get all nerded out and get into the science of where it is, but how do you stack up? And there's a very easy way for us to do that, and I wanted to share that with you. And it's a utility assessment as far as, we call it an EUI, but it's an energy use index. All we need to know is, what's your number? That's an easy way to think about it. So, in taking a look at what your energy use, your EUI is here, your baseline, you're at a 72. So Fisher's Peak is at a 72. What's that mean? The average, if we take a look at schools in this geography and this type of use, the average is a 63. So you're at a 72. The average is 63. That gives you an idea of your usage of utility, your energy spend. Now the best in the class is 53. So again, we're at 72, 63 is the average, 53 is the best. So we have, that tells us right off the bat as we take a look at this, there's some room for improvement at Fisher's Peak, which is good. Okay, what can we do with that? The delta, which is the difference from where our baseline is to where we believe we can take you, that means we can leverage those savings and find some ways to make some improvements out there. Other things we took a look at was the water consumption. You know, there's a lot of irrigating that goes on out there from, is it May to November, Jeff?
About April to
April to December, yeah. So a lot of irrigating goes at Fisher's Peak. How can we be more efficient? Now we're still diving into that. Water is gold these days, it seems like. You know, water is very expensive. So how can we make the best use of those resources? And we're still looking for those answers. But I wanted to share that we're diving into that. All this aside, as we take a look at it, we're saying, okay, dollar-wise, how much annually do we think we could save if we started doing some improvements at Fisher's Peak? We did everything from HVAC to the other improvements from water. It's about $30,000 a year. So, you know, it works out to about, if you take it to a 10-year project, that's about $300,000 in a possible project that could be out there on a 10-year project, maybe more if you went 15. But that's where we are annually, $30,000. Last time I was here, I spoke about there are some very good, interesting grants that are available from the Colorado Energy Office. And that's our next phase. That's what we're starting to look at now. How can we take these savings that we're taking a look at, the usage that we've used, and from that, take a look at, when we break down these numbers, and if we dive into what these savings are, which one of the grants that are out there for the state of Colorado from the Energy Office, how much free money's out there? That's what we want to take a look at. Because originally, we took a look at the BEST grant, which was going to be some free money, and then there was matching from the district that was going to come in, and that was just for the roofing and the HVAC. Now we're taking a look at everything at Fisher's Peak. How can we make the indoor air quality better for the students? How can we make the flush valves and the water usage, the domestic water inside the school more efficient? How can we make the irrigation more efficient? How can we make the classrooms better learning environment? We're taking all those into consideration now. If we do that, we took a look at, you know, we all know the existing conditions out there. The air conditioning was 2002 is when it was put in. So we're at the end of what we call useful life. So we're at 22 years now that the equipment is out there for the HVAC and the indoor air quality for Fisher's Peak. We know that needs to be addressed. It was addressed in the BEST grant that we went after. So how do we leverage that? The proposal that we're taking a look at in the BEST grant, I keep referring to that. That was all we were going to do was look at was the HVAC on some school, but now we're looking at HVAC entirely for the school. Everything from the gymnasium, the cafeteria, the library, and bringing in fresh air. We didn't have fresh air before, and we want to bring in fresh air into the classrooms. More fresh air, we have a better classroom environment. Roof replacement, we identified before, was already leaking when they did the master plan for the school 10 years ago, 2016? 2016, almost 10 years ago. We'd already identified the school was in bad shape. Again, how can we go out and possibly leverage these grants and these energy savings to help replace this roof? The lighting upgrades, when the lighting was done on the last upgrade, it's what we call a T8, so it's a very efficient bulb. We can go to the next level now. We can look at LED lighting out there, which is going to be a much better reading environment, and classroom environment. So again, taking those into the overall. The indoor air quality I mentioned earlier, we're going to take a look at, and then take a look at the plumbing fixtures. The last system that we're taking a look at is the irrigation. There's a lot of money to be saved out there. Everything we have, it's still preliminary. We're still doing at risk. There's been no cost to the district so far. I want the public to know that. And we're still developing this for you. As we go through these next 30 days, what we're going to take a look at is information that we found, and then go back to the state, the energy office, and the grants that are out there and say, okay, this is what we have at Fisher's Peak. How does this qualify Fisher's Peak for grant dollars out there? How can we leverage that? How can we leverage the savings? How can we leverage the grants? And what things really fit well? And then with that, come back with some solutions to you and the board, and come up with some possible different avenues that we can take a look at for next steps going forward. So in about 30 days, I want to make sure I kind of update you where we're at, so you know that we're continuing to look and going forward and improve what we have going on at Fisher's Peak. Any questions? That's it. That's my monthly update that we're taking a look at Fisher's Peak. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Item 6.3 is Trinidad High School best renovation update. Jeff Wilson.
Thank goodness for life. So good evening. Give my update for the best grant. Give you kind of a schedule update, and then I'm just going to go through some pictures of stuff that you guys didn't see when you went on your tour. So as of now, from our last construction meeting, it sounds like the gymnasium, we were shooting for an August 1st finish date for the whole project. Substantial completion, where we have work left to do, but we'd be able to use it. It doesn't sound like the gymnasium will be ready for volleyball to start practice in August. As we get through the month of August, I think we'll know more, leading into September, when the gym will be available and be ready. So as of now, I spoke to Ashley. We're gonna have to figure out something for volleyball, to start volleyball practice. And then possibly for football, for locker room use on our first couple games. It's kind of close, but there's a lot of work happening in the gym, and they're trying their best to get finished up. Building A, I think it's about 80% complete. The ceiling, the lighting, and the controls for the HVAC, they're about 80% complete. At the end of the week, Wildan, the contractors, and myself are going to do a walkthrough and get a punch list to see what's left to do, and then they'll go through and finish the punch list. The secure vestibule will not be in place for the start of school. I talked to Samantha. Samantha had us leave that office that it'll affect empty. So we're going to start school as we were last year. That way they're able to work in there and get the vestibule finished. And then according to what Will Dan told me, they'll work weekends or whatever's needed to finish that as school gets going. See here, district employees, including myself, we've been moving furniture, stripping and waxing floors, shampooing carpets, in order to try and get in there for the start of school. And I don't know what the plan for what do you call registration. So we're trying to get that. I know they come in, but August 5th, the admin. So we're trying to meet that, get the offices done. There's a lot of windows left to do, and the office side needs to be all complete and painted. So there's quite a bit of work to do in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I do feel that Building A will be ready for classes come to start school. Building B, I just kind of found out today, the units, the heating unit ventilators for the whole building will not show up until August 15th. So depending on how fast those get installed will be, will affect all those. I really think we can be in there in class because we shouldn't need the heat probably till late October. The one room that it does affect quite a bit is the wood shop, because the wood shop dust collector will not be here till August 15th also. So we'll have to get with Mr. Eric to see what he wants to do for $5 a month for wood shop. Other than that, once those are in place, we should be very close. So at this point, I'm sorry I didn't have a bunch of pictures of building. There's a lot of the gymnasium. So that was the day they did the crane lift at the high school. That was the install of the boilers down in the gym. Putting boilers in. That's them in place. So there was a lot of work that happened down there that, people don't realize. When I seen the price for the demo of certain things, I was like, I could do that. Then when I seen all the man hours and the people doing it, I was like, well, I can kind of see why. The new block work, you can see they had a finger in all of these for this. So this would be the new little office for, I think, the girls' side and then the shared bathroom. So everything's coming together finally. Take a picture. A lot of block work. They tried a local contractor and there's a guy coming out of Pueblo doing all this block work. So he's doing a pretty good job. So this area here, as we move forward, that's the area that we need to fix. That's the deck part, the roof. I know last year with the old board, we were fighting several leaks. I kept trying to push it off because of this, because we had to go through and cut a bunch of holes in this roof. So I didn't want to get a new roof on there and then go cut a bunch of holes this summer. So hopefully after this, Kristen will find some money. That pads for the air conditioners. Those are the holes cut, so those are the new units that'll go placed for the ventilation for the locker rooms. New block work. You can see, I don't know if you remember the later pictures when we did the walk, so that's all the plumbing that had to be redone, and then they infilled all of this. So then they'll come back with I forget what kind of panel it is, some kind of wet panel. The panel will cover from here up to here, so you won't see none of that block work. Almost like a tile. And that'll be throughout. New duct work here, our lighting. More block. So that's where they have the infill, you can see there.
Jeff, are the fixtures in?
Fixtures.
Have they arrived?
And I'm not sure, I haven't seen them on site yet. I'm afraid to ask Michael, because he'll talk my ear off. So like this would be nice, that's the office here, and then that's the secured, or the shared bathroom. And that's the crane lift on the units. That's the flooring, put new flooring in the upper bathrooms around the A building and B building. So all those restrooms will get new fixtures. New toilets, new sinks, they'll have automatic touchless stuff. We couldn't afford panels, so we're just dealing with what we have here. A lot of the pictures, they look the same, but they're in different areas, just a lot going on with the wall. So these will be built in between each shower stall. So they have to build one, do the plumbing, get it inspected, and then go to the next one. So it's a real slow process. All this is new, all this conduit's new. These are all new electrical panels. Patching the drywall in the locker rooms. That's about it, that's all I have. I didn't have nothing of the ceilings, I apologize, but you guys seen the ceilings on the walkthrough, so. That's all I have. Do you guys have any questions?
There won't be any holdup on inspection?
No, but every time they call for inspection, they're on schedule. Yeah, it's just a slow process. I mean, this one took quite some time to finish, so hopefully we'll get around to them, get everybody going. Just don't plug it.
Pat, do you have any questions for Jeff?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Micah.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Item 6.4 is the Adams County Memo of Understanding, Georgia.
We have the
Project. Stuff like that.
6.5, facilities used for community band. Mr. Green.
Yeah. I got some, excuse me, hazardous proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
got
has
it.
changed.
Nope,
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
changed, so
okay.
just in case, yeah. Basically, I was hoping to resurrect the community band. Just to, kind of be a direct fundraiser for the band boosters. So we would, there's so much music in that band room already. Mr. Olden's been going through it, going through just like categorizing everything. And a lot of that is probably way over our students' heads anymore. So if we got some community members to play some of that old music, new music to everyone, basically, we could, let's see, give young people opportunities to hear live music, inspire them to join the band themselves. And one of the things I noticed when I was in that in choir in the band room, just the amount of repairs that all those instruments are in need of. Just having someone to keep a nice, continuous, regular those so that the burden doesn't have to rely on the band teacher every time, especially if we have things that happened in the last few years. And we have someone, keeping track, like, Mr. Olson said that we need a new tuba, and it's just $6,000 is the cheapest we can find. So, if we were able to just get some people in, I know there's lots of people just wanting to play their instruments that haven't in a long time. And really, there's nowhere else in town that's like an acoustically sound place. I'm not sure.
I was very excited that you're taking the time to, and the effort to put into this, because we've needed this for so long for our music students, and I think it's a great opportunity for them. Members to just have a place to be and to, create music, and
I'm hopeful that we can start looking for some grants, music grants, because they're out there. I did have a conversation with Mr. Olson about the repair, or about the tuba, which is crazy expensive, but, you know, after that conversation, I'm thinking, you know, do we have an account where, you know, I'm sure that there would be lots of alumni of Trinidad High School or Trinidad School District 1 that would want to donate money towards the music department and things like that. So, I mean, I think we need to think about opening that account up for anybody. We do have one, oh good. And then we just put it out there and, you know, I'm sure that we can come up with money somehow for that.
And I'm not sure exactly, I think Mr. Hagan probably have more, better recollection about how the band boosters all worked way back when, and if this would be a viable fundraiser kind of.
Do we currently have a band booster?
It's,
We don't have an active.
it's still around, and they're, from what I've heard, but they kind of fell by the wayside. I would definitely like to help get that back revitalized because Mrs. Sanchez is really gonna need it. She comes back.
We definitely, I think, welcome that with open arms, and if you're, like I said, if you're willing to head that up, I know people will be very excited to have a band booster again and join.
Yeah, the way I always understood it is if you're a parent of a band member, then you're in the band boosters. Was that basically how it went?
Yes.
So we'll have to get, some of that, and I know, Mr. Montoya, Jeff was part of it at some point, and then,
And
Yeah, we still have all this
anybody in the community who would, you know, alumnus who would want to participate or be part of that to help out, I think would be great.
yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions? Anything?
So you're looking to have the community band practice in the band room?
I mean, yes. In order to, just
Right.
for timpanis and big drums and things that
Right.
people don't know.
Okay.
Great.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Six point six, technology report.
There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, so I'll keep this under 2 or 3 hours. Don't worry. No, I do want to walk you through the kind of where we are now, and since you guys are a new board, I kind of want to go back just a little bit further than I normally would, just to kind of walk you through where we've been. So I want to talk just a little bit about what I try and do in IT and kind of the role I think that fills. And then I want to walk us through where we've been, what we're kind of working on right now, and look just a little bit forward into the future, which is always a dangerous thing when you're talking about technology. When I came on board as the IT director, I view IT as a support service, right? A lot of times we think of IT as like the people that sit and babysit the servers down in the basement. I always viewed IT as a resource to help people do their job, right? I'm here to help teachers do what they need to do to teach. I'm here to help staff do what they need to do. And I like to be an active problem solver in that process. I never like to be the IT guy that just tells everybody no. I like to try and find a way to say yes. So kind of where we've been. This is, I'm not gonna go through all of these. I have like 5 pages of things we've done. So if you want a copy of this, I'm more than happy to provide. But, right, obviously my goals are to maintain services, make improvements where we can, and then build trust in IT as that resource, as a tool that people feel comfortable with coming to and saying, hey, I have this problem, what can we do? So again, I'm not going to go through all of them, but we've made major changes to the network. We've installed new switches, new wireless access points, we've cleaned up previous installs. We reconfigured the network in a variety of ways to improve its performance, improve its throughput, and its manageability. Devices have been a big focus. We've deployed total district-wide student laptops, over 800 student laptops to the 3 schools. We've deployed new iPads, around 75 of them, around 65 staff devices have been deployed over the last 2 years. We've built out 2 new computer labs, one at Fisher's Peak and one at the high school business computer lab. We deployed Promethean boards, and actually we did 48 around the district. We've revamped the camera system. We deployed the camera system here in the middle school. We've moved and added cameras to both Fisher's Peak and Trinidad High School. And then we supported the install of the access control systems, so all the door fobs and everything that we have now. And that's kind of in our domain to manage. We've deployed so much software that teachers have requested, different programs, different things they can use. One of the big achievements of the last couple of years has been the transition to computer-based testing. When I came, we were doing paper testing. My first year, we piloted some computer-based testing. We had 5th grade and 8th grade science do it. It went well. So this last year, we did computer-based testing across the entire district. It went very smoothly. We also did computer-based testing for the SAT and PSAT. And it was actually their first year of doing it too, so we actually got in on the ground floor of that, which was really exciting. Phones, we've done a lot of work with the phone system. We migrated from an old copper-based system to now one that comes over through the internet. We've supported the install of smart labs at THS, 2 of them. We've done a lot of troubleshooting with that. We deployed all the digital signage around the middle school. And again, just lots of different things we've done. I don't want to bore you with and ramble too much. But it's been a lot of, when I came on board, it felt like the district had been tossed into a lot of technology due to COVID. My impression is a lot of things changed, and a lot of solutions were put in place in a hurried manner, right? Because we had to get things in place. So things were kind of built in a way that was maybe less than ideal. Compromises had to be made. But since then, we've been able to take a lot of our things and move it forward. So for example, the student devices used to be all managed from a server down in the basement. And I understand why that was done, because COVID happens, we have to get computers into kids' hands right away. It's the fastest way to do it. But it's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is with a modern cloud-managed system, which we were able to migrate to last year, and has made management of everything so much easier, smoother, etc. All right, this is a nice little Disney quote. I like that. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing, which you wouldn't know from me because I like to talk. All right, day-to-day operations. We use a ticketing system to track most of our jobs, and I would say most people are pretty good about using it. They submit a help ticket. Today, we've managed almost 2,000 tickets from staff members. Our average response time is about an hour. Average time to close a ticket is about a day and a half. You know, some things are really simple, some things are really complicated. And daily churn, about 7-ish tickets a day on a typical day will come in. And I would say the tickets comprise about 2/3 of our workload. The rest, you know, obviously people catch me in the hallway, hey, I have this problem, and I'll fix it, or they call me or email me or what have you. Current major projects, this is just kind of a list of things that we've been working on recently, the last few months. Obviously, supporting emerging campus has been a big one. We had to pull a lot of our equipment out there. We had to segregate the network so that they're separate from us, right? We don't want them having access to our things. So we segregated that. And it was actually nice because we got to redeploy some of that equipment that was over there to the middle school. So like the, oh, we don't have one in here. The intercom speakers and stuff, we were able to add some to some rooms that they didn't have in the middle school. So it was actually kind of a blessing in disguise. This summer's also been taken up a lot with the high school project because when they tore out the ceiling, all of our cameras are up there, all of our speakers are up there, all of our wireless access points are up there, all of our cabling runs through there, right? So we had to go in, remove everything, pull everything down, and now we're in the process of putting it all back up, right? Which again is kind of a blessing in disguise because we get to move cameras to maybe better locations, we get to move wireless access points to improve coverage, so it's all gonna work out. We've been working hard at implementing online registration, and that is currently active right now. We're gonna start communicating that with parents this week about how to get online to their parent portal and register their students without having to come in to the district. We're also working on implementing an online payment portal through Infinite Campus, and we're gonna pilot that with food service so that they can accept credit cards, and then if that works well, we want to expand that out to athletics and whoever else needs it, right? People don't carry cash anymore. Lots of redeploying devices. Obviously, all the smart labs in the high school have to be packed up, and now that they're done, they're going to have to be unpacked. This summer, I piloted some classroom management solutions, and I settled on one called Go Guardian, which is going to come up later for you guys. I hope you approve it. It's one of the most requested things I get from teachers is, oh, I wish we had a way to look at student screens while we were teaching. I wish I had a way to help manage that. So I looked at some over the summer, piloted one, and decided to go with that one. Other than that, we're deploying some Microsoft training. People are always asking, hey, how can I use Teams better? How can I use this? How can I use that? All right, future goals, improve device manageability and accountability, improve our network and endpoint security posture. Security is a big one. Obviously, schools are targets. Just recently, District 70 was hit with ransomware. So, it's important we keep on top of that. Continue to collaborate with school teams to improve students' learning opportunities. And I really want to make us a model for technology use. We're the largest school in the area. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to provide things to students that other schools don't or can't, right? And I think that puts a nice big gold star right next to Trinidad School District, which is what I want. Just some challenges and risks that are always on my mind. Obviously, increasing costs of IT services. Just like everything else in the world, IT equipment, software, contracts are all getting more expensive. It's just the unfortunate reality. Keeping track of security incidents and making sure we have procedures in place for when those happen. Reliance on third-party solutions, vendor dependence, right? This is just kind of a ubiquitous IT problem, right? We rely on other people's things, right? So we rely on Infinite Campus to be safe and secure. We rely on Microsoft to be safe and secure. We rely on these things. So that's part of my my process when I talk to vendors, software vendors, is can we trust our data with you? Can we trust our environment with you? New state laws that affect our website and portals. AI, of course, is a big topic of discussion. Everybody's either worried about AI or excited about AI or both. The answer is both, but you should be if you're wondering. But there's so many new tools that are coming out that I've been pushing out emails to our teachers to introduce some of these new tools to them and talk about, trying to give them the resources to use them. Aging infrastructure, varying levels of user digital literacy, right? Addressing the digital divide. You know, we have families that don't have internet at home, right? And how do we help them with the tools? We did have a program that allowed us to distribute hotspots. That unfortunately ended. We're exploring some other alternatives to try and bring something like that back. Emergency preparedness and disaster recovery, right? How do we deal with if something like what happened with District 70 happens to us, right? How do we bounce back from that? How do we recover from that? One thing I missed was the website. We have a brand new website. It's live right now. If you go to tsd1.org, you can check it out. We also have an app. I know it's in the Apple App Store right now, so if you have an iPhone, you can just search Trinidad School District, and you can get our app. We'll be communicating that with the community real quick, but right now you can check it out. I'm really impressed with it. So. All right. Does anybody have any questions? If you're not tired of hearing me blabber on, I'm more than happy to answer anything.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Six point seven is a recap of summer lunch program. Should we go? Just to be quick overview of summer lunch. Summer lunch began from June 10th, July 25th, so we have one day left. Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. Summer lunch is free to children from 0 to 18 years of age, and students to pick up and take meals home if needed. Adult meals were also served, and adult purchase a meal for $5.60. Staffing for the summer lunch program was 2 staff members, and it was myself and Ashley Cordoba. And the total meals served so far for the month of June and July, where our total student lunches served were 2,731 lunches, and total adult lunches served were 385. Our daily average students was 88, and our daily average adults were 12. We had 2 to-go meals, 498 lunches. This number is included in total lunches. Everybody else ate on site. Our most popular days were June 13, which was a hot turkey sandwich, and on that day we served 142 students. And then on June 18th was another busy day, and we served 145 students, and they like to get involved. Fridays were not very busy. We served around 40 to 50 students. And then on July 3rd was the last day of summer school. So it did slow down. Summer school was over. Our financial status was our budget for the summer program was $17,400. Our reimbursement for the student lunches for June was $8,780. And our total
Adult cash sales were $2,355.95. We spent a total of $3,206.96. A total of non-food cost was $88.95, and our labor was $1,781.40. That's just currently, we'll give you bigger numbers. Our summer program is very busy, and we have a lot of parents and students participating in our program. Fishes Peak Elementary bus the students over to receive lunches, and the students really enjoy having the opportunity to choose their own items for themselves. They even asked if they could do something like that at the Fishes Peak Elementary. We had many compliments from the parents and students of our meals that we served. And then some information about some of the team. I did the state was a little behind on that program, and so parents will not get anything until did not receive any benefits for late hours or early September. Do you have any questions for me? Thank you.
I'm just surprised that pizza wasn't the most popular day.
I know, I was.
No, I'm surprised that pizza in a blanket was
That's
my favorite.
Yeah, I was shocked. Thank you.
Thank you.
And 6.8 emergent campus lunch report order.
On Park Street, the school district, the Park Street side is the emergent campus. And I met with their director, the emergent campus director, Christine Loudon, today. I'll bring her to one of our meetings that you introduced her. When Jackie Crabtree, who is our Career Connected Learning, comes on board, then they will start collaborating. Meanwhile, Christine Loudon has been tasked with getting the space ready for businesses to move in. And as Micah mentioned, they pulled the internet so that emerging campus could put in their own, because they have a higher security internet than we do, and we didn't want that commingling anyway. Jeff has been really great with getting Paladin, Jeff and Mike getting Paladin to come in and install alarms, and I set them off twice today, giving a tour, so they do work, as long as you have a 2-minute patience to wait for it to go off. The cameras, we have 3 of our cameras, and they will be installing their own security cameras in addition to our cameras so that we can see what's going on in there. There's several windows in the hallway between emergent campus and the middle school. Those will have coverings on them so that there'll be privacy on both sides. We have 2 businesses so far in the Florence emergent campus that are interested in occupying 2 of our classroom spaces. There's a few plumbing, we left all the faucets and the sinks in there, so we'll make sure that those work properly before they move in. And any questions? The timeline is that our students will start going from the high school over to Park Street to conduct their internships and to get their industry certifications on whatever businesses are in there at the time. And we have budgeted for 15 paid internships for emergent campus for this spring, and then in the fall, we have budgeted for 30 participants. So we're really excited about that and bringing Jackie Crabtree on to oversee that for us.
Questions? Thank you. Any questions, Scott?
No, I don't have any. Thank you.
Okay. 7. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Okay. Seeing no public comment,
I thought I signed up.
do you have a card?
There was a sign-in sheet over there. I thought that was a public comment.
Oh, that was just an attendance.
Oh,
But is there a card over there? We can,
is it too late?
No.
Can I, come on.
What's
that?
Seven, filling it out, she's gonna read.
Oh.
Item 7 7 is public comment. This is one of the opportunities we provide to hear the views and receive the advice of community members. The members of the board appreciate hearing from interested citizens and will take your comments into consideration, even though it is not our practice to act at this time on issues which are raised. When appropriate, we will refer your concerns to the superintendent for follow-up by the staff. While we encourage public input on policy, programs, and practices within the purview of this board and the school system, this is not the proper avenue to address specific student or employee matters or to comment on matters that do not relate to public education in the Trinidad School District. We encourage everyone to utilize existing avenues of redress for complaints. I would like to remind the public that inappropriate personal remarks or other behavior that disrupts or interferes with the conduct of this meeting is out of order. The Board of Education requests that you observe your time and adhere to the 3 minutes. Ms. Vallejo, Secretary of the Board, shall serve as timekeeper. She will warn you when you have 1 minute left to speak and stop you when 3 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your remarks when the 1 minute warning is given. And our first speaker is Murphy.
Good afternoon, new board staff and people. I'll be quick. Trinidad's a small town. I suspect you guys might know who I am. I'm the owner of Muller Murphy in Trinidad Times TV. I started a cable channel back in 2005. I've been broadcasting for 19 years. And I actually did school district #1 for many years. I think some of you guys remember those meetings. I still have all of them. I have them archived. My cable channel's been running 24/7, and I also have a YouTube channel. And one of the things about my TV channel is that the older generation that's not going to turn on a computer, that's not going to find a website, that's not going to do all that, can turn it on, and they know because they stop me in the grocery store and they thank me for this. And I stopped filming you guys a while ago because they had long meetings and it was painful. And so I had to stop doing it. But if you were interested, I'm kind of reinvigorating because of the YouTube channel and everything else that I'm doing, of getting in touch maybe with your superintendent, let her know. I've done it on my dime and my time for part of the newspaper, but now we need to generate some revenue and the city pays for it and some others do. So I'm interested in putting a presentation to your superintendent and maybe presenting it to your board and seeing if you guys are interested. When I started this, the goal is transparency in government, and it still is. People don't understand that one of the reasons that America's successful is because we do have transparency, and that everything that with our tax dollars should be out in the open. And so what I'd like to do is I will get with her and find out, I'll do a small presentation and just see if you guys are interested. It's 19 years and I know that it made a difference. And Trinidad School District #1 is the first school district. And I think you guys have made some changes. I don't know how many different rooms I've been in for board meetings in the last 20 years. But it's good to see. And the nice thing is that people will see what you're doing. Because a lot of it you hear on the street, it's like, oh, did you know that they did this? And it's not true. That ended particularly in the city because people are like, no, I watched it. That's not what happened. And that's the goal. That's all I'm saying. Is I will get in touch with your superintendent and say, hey, I'm not going to stick around. I will post this on YouTube. If I do this, I'll do a 2 camera shoot so that everybody's in there. But this is just a sample. And I'm glad things weren't where they were when I left here in filming because it seems a whole lot more peaceful, and that's a good thing. So I'll get with her and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
And item 8 is executive session. Do I have a motion for the board to go into executive session in accordance with Colorado Revised Statute 246402B, has to do with obtaining legal advice, and F has to do with personal matters. Thank you. Any discussion? Go for it.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Seminole?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
And Ms. Davis?
Yes. And Dr. Earn will be joining us.
So Pat, we haven't had good luck with